Once in a while, there are some tough passages in the Bible, and we're about to hit one of them. First, let's set the stage. Jesus took his disciples all the way to the area of Tyre and Sidon, in the area that had been home to the ancient Phoenicians. The most famous Phoenician in history might be Jezebel, pretty much the most evil woman in the Bible. Tyre and Sidon lay along the coastal areas of modern-day Lebanon, and it must have taken a few days for Jesus and the disciples to have reached that region. We're not sure why Jesus wanted to go there, but we do know that people from the region had been traveling to the Galilee in search of him, so he was not an unknown. It's not surprising that a woman who needed a miracle sought him out when he came to her neighborhood. This woman was a Greek. She wasn't Jewish. She had been born far away from the boundaries of Israel. She was a Gentile. For many people in Judea, she was one of them. She came to Jesus and begged. She begged him for help. Her daughter needed help. Now, at this point, all of us expect Jesus to help. That's what he does. With a word, he could help this child. With a touch, he could give this mother what she desperately needs. But Jesus seemed to ignore her. Worse, he seems to insult her. First, let the children eat all they want, he told her, for it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. That's not good, but it is what we have, so let's investigate. Part of the key is in the location. Tyre and Sidon, that's a long ways from Jerusalem, physically and spiritually. This is a land of ancient gods from Greek mythology and even some new Roman gods that were thrown in for good measure. Some people were even worshiping the Roman emperor as if he were God. In the land west of this location, in what we call Turkey today, communities were vying for the privilege of building great temples to different emperors, claiming that the emperor was divine. Everything outside of Israel, including Tyre and Sidon, was a land of many gods. So, was Jesus going to be just one more god? We know better, but we have some hindsight. You know, some of the emperors of Rome might really have believed they were divine, but Jesus walked on the water. He stopped storms in their track. He multiplied food, completely skipping the natural laws of how food is normally produced. Jesus healed people of diseases and blindness. He raised people from the dead. So let's be clear about something in any culture that thinks all religions are the same. Jesus is not just one more option in a world full of religious options. And right now, Jesus needed to know if this woman understood that. She has come to him, sure, that's a good first step, but has she come to him as her only option? Has she understood that Jesus is not one of the make-believe gods of her own culture? Does she agree that he is the only way, the only truth, the only life, the only way to get to the Father? So Jesus tested her. According to Matthew's account of this story, he first said to her, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. She's not part of Israel, but she did not go away. She stayed put. That's a good second step. She didn't leave. That's when Jesus used the harsher illustration. It's not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. She still didn't leave. She could have been offended, but she chose not to be. Instead, she gave a humble answer that deeply touched Jesus. Yes, Lord, but even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. That's when we see the entire conversation was a test. For such a reply, Jesus said, you may go. The demon has left your daughter. And indeed, when she returned home, her little girl was well. Do you know who else Jesus was testing? He was testing his disciples. Every step of the way, every day they were together, Jesus was training them, stretching them, testing them. Maybe this was the very reason they had all made such an unexpected road trip. These disciples had grown up in a very conservative, very Jewish community, in a very Jewish region. Now they were in Tyre and Sidon. Soon enough, they would be in Samaria and then the Decapolis. In every stop, in every conversation, Jesus was training his disciples in those days the same way he trains us today. You know, it's really interesting that none of the disciples took up this woman's case. None of them asked Jesus to show her mercy. They were content to let a child suffer because they were in an area outside of their comfort zone. They were with people who were different from them. They were willing to keep Jesus to themselves. And that's not a good thing. Not then, not today. In the Bible, after the Gospels, there's the book of Acts. That's the record of what the disciples did after the resurrection. Jesus had told them to take his message to the ends of the earth, and they did. If they failed this early test in Tyre and Sidon, they passed the next one with flying colors. For instance, Philip met and baptized an Ethiopian eunuch who was on his way home to Africa. Simon Peter went to Caesarea and watched the transformation of a Roman centurion, his family, and his circle of friends. Paul would travel extensively, and he settled for a while in Antioch, which is north of, ready for this, Tyre and Sidon. From there, he and several friends went on their missionary journeys. They told everyone about Jesus. If you're going to follow Jesus, there can be no other option. He alone is your answer. And if you're going to tell others about Jesus, then there can be no barriers, no artificial points of separation. For Jesus came for all of us.